few months back, I shared a video called My Complete Crypto Portfolio July 2024, where I basically shared all of the coins that I was holding at that time and the percentages that it made up in the overall portfolio. Now, if we fast forward a couple of months, I think we're ready for a new update because things have changed over these last few weeks. And my portfolio recently reached a new all-time high, and this isn't just me flexing on you guys. I want to share this to give you guys insight into what sectors I've been focusing on, what coins more specifically are in there for me to actually achieve this. Before we get into the portfolio, there are two things that I want you to keep in mind. Number one is that crypto is highly volatile, so this will change and fluctuate on a daily basis. The second thing is what works for me may not work for you. You know, everybody has different risk tolerance, they have different goals, they have different core positions in their portfolio. So some of you who watched that last portfolio video may remember that there were 3 core positions in there. There were Bitcoin and Ethereum that both made up 20% each of the portfolio, and then there was Solana that made up for 10%. But there has been some big changes to these percentages, and the biggest change probably is that there are now 5 core positions rather than the original 3. Firstly, Bitcoin still leads the way in the portfolio, but it is now only worth 18% rather than the 20%. Now, this isn't due to me reducing my Bitcoin holdings, it's simply because other coins in there have been outperforming. And the exact same thing has happened to my Ethereum holdings, but this time it's actually dropped to 15% just due to Ethereum performing below average. Next up, we have the first newcomer to the core positions, and this is 01 Labs, or DEAI. Now, this is a project that I have a lot of conviction in. I was an early investor into this project as well, but it has been performing extremely well recently, and this is why it has managed to grow to such a big position in my portfolio. Now, some people would say that it is a high risk coin compared to the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Am I going to reduce this position and sell some? Well, I'm actually not, because it is probably the AI play that I have the most conviction in myself. And then we have a complete newcomer to the portfolio, and this is the meme coin Nero. Now, some of you who follow on Twitter will have seen that this is my trade of the year. I bought this in August at around a $2 million market cap, and since the Binance listing, it has gone crazy. We're currently sat at around $900 million in market cap at the time of recording. Now, unfortunately, I have took profit along the way, so it isn't as good as it could have been. The bag right now, if I didn't sell anything, would be worth just under $2 million. But unfortunately, I was selling on the way up. I actually sold 50% at break even and took my initial out. So you win some, you lose some, but it is now worth 8% of this portfolio. And lastly, the 5th and final core position is still Solana. Now, this time it is worth 8% rather than the original 10%. And this is just, again, due to it simply not outperforming compared to other coins out there. So these 5 core positions actually make up for around 64% of my portfolio, so almost 2/3. And I didn't plan for this to happen. It just spiraled out of control because of some of these positions growing so massively. So I'm more than happy to leave it this way for the time being, at least, just because I have conviction in all 5 of these coins. Now we will move on to the next 5 coins in the portfolio, and these are still pretty decent sized positions. They're not too small, they're not quite as big as the 5 we've just discussed, and these have changed a lot again since that last video. First up, we have a non-mover in the portfolio. This is USDT, and it is worth 5%. So a little bit boring, but this is mostly just due to me skimming off some profits here and there, and also my USDT trading stack. And we have another newcomer, another meme coin, and a high flyer in the portfolio. This is KeyCat on Base. Now, I actually bought a smaller position of this, but due to its recent performance, it has quickly grown into a decent sized position. And I was sharing all of this in real time on X, so make sure you go and follow there. We then have 2 returning AI coins that were originally in that first video, and this is AIOZ and Fetch AI. Now they were originally both worth 4% each, but right now AIOZ is worth 3.5% and Fetch is down to 3%. Now again, this isn't due to me selling anything, it's just due to them not performing as well as other coins that have gone crazy. And then the final coin of the next 5 is probably the biggest changer in the portfolio. This is Kendu. Now this meme coin was originally worth around 8% of my portfolio back in July. However, it is only worth 3% at this point, and again, it's not due to me selling anything, it's just because it has dropped off recently and other coins have started to move and outperform. Now I do still have conviction in Kendu. I do think the community is one of the best communities out there when it comes to meme coins, so I'm willing to hold this and see where it goes. The 5 coins that we've just discussed add up to a total of 19.5% of the portfolio, taking the overall total to 83.5%. And you've probably already noticed at this point that there is a lot of AI and meme coin exposure in there. Now this is something that I've spoken about a number of times before on X, and I've also done videos specifically about this on YouTube, so I'll leave a link in the description to that video, to the most recent video, so you can understand exactly why I'm preparing my portfolio in the way that I am. And then we've got 5 more positions that are much smaller but are worth noting. We've got AIT protocol and TAS protocol, with both of these AI projects making up for 1.5% each. We also have Flowkey making up for 1.5%, and on the back of that we have Flowkey's sister company TokenFi for some RWA exposure, which is worth 1%. And then heading into the elections, we also have 1% in Trump coin, otherwise known as MAGA. So with this additional 6.5%, we are now at a total of 90% for the overall portfolio, leaving 10% for a number of other smaller bags. So there is a number of different small bags here that I have in this final 10%, and to be honest, this is just a mix. It's partly me not being tidy enough and keeping on top of the portfolio. It's also some smaller bags that have been airdropped in the past and so on. So I'm not going to go into each of these projects in detail, but I will list them just so you know exactly what I'm holding. We have some returning coins such as Celestia, Entangle, Winar, Zeus and Pyth. And we have some new additions such as Wormhole and Layer Zero. I actually received these from airdrops and I am now staking them. We have some other utility plays such as Rollbit and Zap, and then some smaller meme coin plays such as LOL, Fun and Sirius. And there probably was a handful of other coins that I could have included in this last section. However, at this point, they're just too small or insignificant to include. You know, this isn't due to me not liking them, because if that was the case, I would never have bought them in the first place. But I've not had the opportunity to double down maybe, or it could be that I don't see them fitting into a hot narrative right now. Maybe I see better opportunities elsewhere, but I will continue to hold these small bags just in case they come to something. So that's pretty much a high-level view of my portfolio right now. Don't forget that this can change on a regular basis. It is a very volatile market, and if something pumps or dumps, that's going to have an impact on this portfolio. So if you do want to see more regular updates, do let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to put them out. And in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you in the next one.